You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast,
delivering a player experience news.
Let's go! What is up, guys, and welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 283. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on Twitter, and I am joined over Discord by the Nintendo aficionado and hardcore casual himself, Gage, not Gage. Why am I reading the wrong line? Roshan Warner, damn it. Roshan Warner.
Thank you very much.
At Roro.
Hello.
I apologize, Ro. I was reading the wrong line. I got myself on my brain. My brain's dead
Got
today.
yourself on your brain.
Yeah.
Got yourself.
My brain's fried today. It was a day. And the host of Large Popcorn and video producer at The Gamer, Christian Macias, will return at some point. We hope that he is doing okay. And the reformed Tarkov, Teletubby, and my fellow Spartan, yes, this time actually it is, Gage Dempster at Gilbo Biggins.
Reporting for duty, sir.
God damn it. We had a decent line last week, and now we're back to this. Fuck.
I can't remember what my line was last week.
I know, I can't either, actually. All right, thank you to everyone joining us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/@podcastpxn and twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. The topic of the show this week, guys, is our discussion surrounding the future of Xbox hardware. We've got some details that have come out, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. No pun intended from the Xbox 360 slogan of jump in.
Nice. Nice callback.
Incredible. All right. So we got from Jez Corden, we got new details on the next gen Xbox hardware. And Jez has officially open the lid, I'll say, on this Project Keenan, which is the code name for the next-gen Xbox hardware family. And in his article here, he is actually specifically mentioning a high-end Xbox Series X successor, but not one for the Series S. And many are speculating if that means that the handheld is going to fulfill the market for the Series S, which seems pretty likely. So Microsoft is working with a PC gaming OEM, think Asus, Lenovo, MSI, Razer, on an Xbox branded gaming handheld, surprisingly slated for later in 2025 if plans are met. Codename Kennen, which okay, somebody, I think he updated this. I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, codename Kennen. I'll get to that in a second, though. This gaming handheld will look unmistakably Xbox, we're told, complete with an official Xbox guide button and Xbox design sensibilities. Given that this is a partner device similar to Lenovo's SteamOS partnership with Valve, I expect this handheld to be more PC-oriented. Kennen is almost definitely running full Windows, putting the Microsoft Store and PC Game Pass front and center, alongside the ability to install things like Steam. So this device will likely serve, at least in part, as a research experience for Microsoft, and he expects the handheld will test new Windows 11 device-aware capabilities while reducing third-party OEM bloatware that are typical of devices like the Lenovo Legion Go and Asus ROG Ally. I expect Jez expects Microsoft will leverage widgets on the Xbox Game Bar for PC for controlling things like TDP and fan speed, while hopefully having a more streamlined OS experience for controller use. Of course, existing PC gaming OEMs will also benefit from these efforts as well, but the research will also help with Microsoft's further out plans, because indeed, his sources have also indicated that Microsoft's internal successor to the Series X has been fully greenlit all the way up to CEO Satya Nadella. And for now, he understands that Microsoft's next-gen hardware plans include a premium successor to the Series X alongside its own Xbox gaming handheld and several new controller options. Tentatively, these new console devices are slated for 2027. So, to stop there a minute, it seems from this report that no longer, there were reports we had talked about a while back that 2026 was when they were targeting new consoles. Now it seems these new consoles are coming 2027, which could include both a successor to Series X and a new handheld from Microsoft themselves directly. So, with all of that and a possible partnership device coming this fall from one of their third-party partners. So with all that being said, are we optimistic about this new PC-focused Xbox, or what are our thoughts about that? Like, it seems like the handheld may be targeting the PC market, but will the console also be doing that? Is the console going to become more of a PC with this next leap as well?
I have two things. First is
Mm-hmm.
just a quick comment, and then second will be my answer to your question.
Okay.
First thing, I find it deeply funny that people are saying that the reports are this handheld will look unmistakably Xbox when Xbox's most recent ad campaign is everything is an Xbox. I think that's wildly hilarious to me.
I mean,
and
so then it's right. It's gonna look like an Xbox.
It could look like anything. It could look like a Jack in a Box, and this is unmistakably Xbox. I think that it's tough to separate what I want from what I think will happen. Because I have been saying for many years that I would love for Xbox to move towards PC integration, and like, I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast or if this is before the podcast days, but like I would be theorizing with friends saying like, oh, could you imagine like a modular Xbox that has like a GPU that can be swapped in and out and all this stuff? And I don't think they'll go that far, but it would be very nice to see more PC focused mindset in how the console functions in terms of its longevity and its compatibility with PC only games. I think that in terms of like what you could do for console hardwares, because we're already hitting a plateau in terms of graphics, like what can you do to really innovate a console? And I think bridging the gap between PC accessibility and the sort of ease of use of a console, I mean, to me, that's like a big stride that they could take if they wanted to get out ahead of PlayStation.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think it would be cool to have just an Xbox handheld in general. I think that would be like I miss I mean, Xbox never did it, but I miss the days of PlayStation having the PSP and the Vita, and obviously Nintendo has their hybrid model now, so they have the best of both worlds. But I miss having that option for the competition, I guess. Like it's just consoles right now. Do any of us have a Steam Deck by chance?
No.
Okay. I was going to ask if you guys use it a lot or not, because I'm assuming that this is going to take up a similar space if it is PC oriented.
I think Christian does, right?
I want to say one of us does, and
Yeah,
if it's none of us,
Christian.
then it must be Christian. Yeah. But yeah, I'm interested in that space. Like I would love to have a Steam Deck, and if Xbox were to provide something similar and have like Game Pass integration and all of that, like that sounds pretty cool to me. I think another interesting thing about this is the Xbox Series, like potentially coming along with this for the next Xbox console, and how this generation still feels so short to me.
Yeah.
and it's just the whole thing with games taking longer, and just not coming out, that just has me worried about the next generation, where that I assume is only going to get worse. But I feel like this generation hasn't had a lot of time to breathe, but that is separate from the fact that I am excited for an Xbox portable console if it comes sooner or later. But yeah,
which
just interesting.
Which is so interesting you say that, Ro, because it's like if this does come in 2027, it would be the exact same amount of time as the Xbox One PS4 generation. But I think I think the reason why it doesn't feel like it is because games now are taking so long to develop that we're only getting one of a franchise. We're getting one game in a console generation. Like, for instance, Halo Infinite is going to be the only Halo game on this generation of consoles, which is crazy. Like, that is, I mean, that I think that's part of the reason why it feels like it's, so short. I don't know.
Yeah.
Piggybacking on what you were saying, Gage, Jez did put in his article here from his report. He said, it seems that the next-gen Xbox consoles will be closer to Windows than ever before, reducing the amount of work developers have to commit to when porting from PC. I understand that they will continue to support backwards compatibility with legacy Xbox games too. Sarah Bond recently announced that a project team specifically designed to promote backwards and forwards compatibility for existing Xbox games to that end. Which that's fascinating as well, because if they do indeed do that, and the next gen console is effectively a Windows machine, then that effectively means they could bring literally all of their backwards compatible stuff to PC, which would be kind of huge as well, I think. To have it natively available instead of, obviously you can do like cloud stuff, but interesting.
Bringing the sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, bringing the consoles closer to PC, I think is not only good for the consumers in that there's a possibility of being able to play, say, like Sheldon being able to try all these indie games that we play on the weekends, right? That are only available on Steam. Not only do you have that possibility, but that I think it's a win-win, because it's like Jez is mentioning, it can also help with developers and not having to have almost two different development tracks, one for console, one for PC. If you bridge that gap, I mean, obviously the PlayStation thing kind of throws a wrench into that, but you see what I mean? Like, we're getting fewer things to develop for, in a sense.
Yes. And I mean, that also benefits Xbox as a whole, because for a long time there were many developers that were just skipping Xbox because the platform didn't have as big of an install base, or they had, other agreements or whatever. But in this case, if they're effectively the same as a PC, it's pretty easy for them to just, or presumably pretty easy for them to just put it on Xbox as well. Very interesting. Kirik has a Steam Deck as well. Hell yeah, Kirik. Hell yeah. Are you getting an Xbox handheld? Are you interested in that? So to add more about the project code name, so originally Jez had called it Project Keenan, which supposedly, apparently that was found to be not correct. Tom Warren followed up on that and said that it is actually called Project Kenan, which is why I was referring to it as Kenan that whole time. So Jez did give a bit more information on that. And he did follow up as well, because a lot of people were mistaking Jez's comments that the handheld coming out in the fall this year was Microsoft's handheld, which it is not. It's just them partnering with a third party to effectively put Xbox branding on it, but it is not their official handheld that they're working on, or supposedly working on. And Jez does actually give a little bit more background on that as well. Sources familiar with Microsoft's plans tell me that the company's Xbox platform plans for this year and beyond are centered on one big goal: the unification of Windows and Xbox. Jason Ronald, vice president of Xbox Gaming Devices and Ecosystem, revealed to The Verge in January that the company is combining the best of Xbox and Windows together, and that we'd start to see changes later in 2025. And Tom Warren also understands that the Xbox work that has hit the headlines this week is actually called Project Kennen, which is where he revealed that. He's told that Kennen is the code name for the handheld that is being manufactured by Asus, which is part of a larger effort from Microsoft to unify Windows and Xbox towards a universal library of Xbox and PC games. And he's told that Asus is one of the launch partners for these efforts, with an Xbox-branded handheld likely to debut later this year. So a bit more context there.
So Kennen is not the Xbox
Correct.
handheld. It is a partnership between Xbox and Asus. It's an Asus handheld with Xbox branding. Okay. But there still is another Xbox handheld coming. That's going to be more like a Vita or something like that, where it's entirely proprietary. Okay.
Yep. That's the speculation for 2027. That and then a higher powered version.
Oh, so the speculation now is that both of those Xbox products will launch side by side, a la Xbox Series X and Series S. Got you.
Yep. Exactly.
Say what you want about Xbox, but they're not at all confusing.
This is an Xbox. My hands are an Xbox.
What games do you play with those, Dan?
All kinds of games. All right, so yeah, that's our next gen Xbox hardware talk. Anything else you guys have to add before we move on?
No? Question mark?
I am interested when he says more devices, plural. I wonder what that means. Like, he said controllers, plural. So I'm wondering if they're also going to explore more creative avenues for controllers, because I know Phil Spencer had talked about in the past being very impressed with what Sony did with the DualSense controller. So maybe they try to do more stuff like that to make a different type of controller, which would also be, I think that would be smart if you had like a standard controller that just is like, you know, your standard average controller, and then you have like a premium controller that has like some unique cool features added to it. I don't know.
Right. Just differentiate the Elite from the regular, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Very interesting. All right. That is our topic of the show. We'll move into the PXN news of the week. Our first news of the week item is we got new Battlefield details and leaked footage from the Battlefield Labs testing that is going on right now on the brand new game. And we got more than that. We got over 9 minutes of leaked footage showcasing the new destruction and the 60 hertz tick rate servers, the weapon recoil system that is supposed to be more realistic, updated movement animations, including crouch sprinting, combat dive, and visual indicators, and more we'll get into here in a second. But first, did you guys check out any of the gameplay? Is this bringing you back to Battlefield, Gage?
Bro, are you jumping back into Battlefield? We've been down this road before, Daniel.
Okay.
I will say that of the past two Battlefield launches, this one does visually, as of right now, look the most impressive. The biggest thing, I mean, I have looked at a lot of the gameplay footage, and the biggest thing that I've noticed is that the player view weapon animations look a lot better. They look a lot more realistic, a lot snappier. The guns don't look like Nerf guns anymore, which is good for a game that's trying to be immersive. I'm nervous. I'm nervous to get excited, but my body is telling me that I'm excited. So that's what my answer is.
He's nervously excited.
Yes, and of course the art style. Everything is brown and green and gray, which 15 years ago people would have complained about, but now that we've gone to the era of everything's neon and everything's bright, it's kind of refreshing to see a realistic unified art style. So yeah, cautiously optimistic right now.
Rose, Battlefield bringing you back? Are you ready to get back on the train of Battlefield, or on the train to begin
on
with?
the train for the first time? I don't know. I don't know what one of these like types of games would have to do to get me to play it. There's not a lot of first-person shooters that I've like stuck around with besides Destiny.
That's fair.
But I do like the, like you guys were talking about, the destructible environments and stuff like that. I always thought that was cool and immersive, but I don't know. It's just just never my cup of tea.
Well, and they're going like by this footage, they're going back to like what Battlefield Bad Company level destruction, which I love. I love the destruction that I'm seeing from these clips online, and obviously it's still a work in progress. So like, there's some like flashes and stuff like that that happen occasionally when the destructible elements come up or whatever. But obviously this is an alpha, but the actual destruction itself is sick. Like, it seems like they're making it again where you can basically level entire areas, which is very cool. I'm very excited for that aspect. To kind of, because that's what makes Battlefield or one of the things that makes Battlefield so unique is creating your own way through like a corridor or a building, or yeah, it's just one of those alluring features to me. And also, maybe they create a really cool campaign. Maybe that will pull you in.
That could work. That could work. With the same level, we'll probably have more destructible environments to be able to focus in on that tech for just a single player campaign.
True.
Yeah, they could do some cool stuff.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. We have some more information here of some improvements and features that have been revealed by these leaks. I'm going through this article on IGN as well to go over this. So Battlefield 6 has a drag mechanic. Well, I guess they're proclaiming this as Battlefield 6. That's not an official title. But Battlefield has a drag mechanic, so when you're downed, you can grab your teammate and drag them on the ground. Pretty cool.
BattleBit.
Yes, that's true.
I will say, this is part of my cautious optimism. They announced that feature for Battlefield 5, which is 2 games ago.
Wow.
And it got cut it got cut in Battlefield 5, it got cut in Battlefield 2042. We are now actually seeing it in leaked gameplay clips. So this is what I mean, where I'm like, a lot of this stuff sounds cool. I hope that you guys really do it this time.
Right.
Like you say you will. But I think actually Ro bringing that up is a good point. I think a lot of indie games that come out and have these innovative features, it makes the big dogs kind of look like, okay, maybe we really should get on this.
Yeah.
There was something that the last Battlefield didn't have at launch that had me very
scoreboard.
I think
a scoreboard,
right.
and
team
chat and team chat. Yeah.
Which that's insane. How does that happen?
You kind of need those things.
Yeah. Arguably the most important things in a multiplayer
Who's
game.
winning? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
When the people calling the shots don't actually play video games, I feel like that's a very easy decision to make. Oh, what scoreboard? Who cares? You're just playing. You're just having fun. It's like, no, it's not really how video games work, but all right.
Yeah. So from the leaked footage, we also got that Battlefield will let you cling onto vehicles so you can get around the map quicker or lie in wait for a perfect sneaky ambush. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Cling onto vehicles sounds weird. Are they talking like Tony Hawk style, where you just grab the tail, the tail end of a vehicle and get dragged along?
So
I'm hoping what this
They have a screenshot. They have a screenshot of a player like holding on the back of the tank like this, which it looks cool.
Which is fair. That's fine. That's what I was thinking. I was like, did they mean like jumping on top of a tank or something like that? Which sounds like kind of what they mean. Yes, that makes sense. That sounds cool.
Hell yeah. They also have improved in-game movement, which I talked about a little bit before with crouch sprint, combat dive, and a landing roll, as well as new visual indicators to make it easier to understand when movements such as vaulting or laning are possible. It also reportedly has 3D maps as well, which is interesting. We saw that. Yeah, we saw that it has 3D maps because the buildings are like sticking out like that. Yeah. It looks as though the mini map and the spawn screen maps are both 3D. So it shows you the elevation on the maps, which I guess the last time we saw that was Battlefield 5. It also has sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're right. Go ahead.
Battlefield 6 also has improved destruction with environmental destruction, far larger scale, as we talked about already. So, very cool. We're cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, Battlefield's an interesting franchise where I feel like more than, we won't get into it. I think you could make an argument that Halo suffers from this too, at least recently. Battlefield to me though feels like the multiplayer franchise that like tries to reinvent itself every time as opposed to looking at what worked before, right? Like I've seen a lot of people bring up the idea where it's like, wouldn't it be cool to have behemoths back in like a realistic way where it's like if one team, because Battlefield 1, I'm not going to speak for the whole podcast here, but Battlefield 1 I think is one of the most impressive Battlefields since like the 3-4 era. And the idea of like one team getting pushed back to the point where they're almost losing, so the game lets you spawn in, say, like an AC-130, and it's like that's something that can't normally be spawned in, but only happens during certain events, and now you've got this giant airship doing circles around the map that's either piloted or not piloted, but like, you know, players are in it shooting down, and then now the attacking team that was, you know, just about to win the match, now you've got to pivot and like focus on taking down the AC-130. It'd be cool to do if I see sort of signs of them doing that. But again, this time they're reinventing themselves by going back to Battlefield 4 and 3, so it's not the worst case. But I don't know. That's just something that I think about too, where it's like it'd be cool if they looked at not just Battlefield 3 and 4 because that's the safe bet, but look at the other things since then that have also worked.
I would suspect also that we aren't getting the full image from this alpha and that they're holding things back purposely to make it like a surprise. So I feel like, not to say that like that would be one of the things they'd be holding back, but I'm curious as to what they would be holding back, to see like you're saying how they would change the game a little bit.
Right.
Very interesting. All right, let's move on to our other news of the week item, which is Death Stranding 2, releasing on June 26, 2025. We have a release date. It is coming June 24th with early access. We got a 10-minute trailer for Death Stranding 2. Kojima released that, and I did not watch this trailer. I'm sorry. I'm not a big Death Stranding fan, and I was like, there's no way in hell I can watch a 10-minute trailer. Like, if it was a 2-minute trailer, sure. 10 minutes, you lost me.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think?
I will say that it looked a lot like Kojima stuff, and it's going to make certain people very, very happy. I'm sure certain people are glazing right now, and for me, I'm like,
Christian.
This game take all the mystery out of it. Yes, Christian. Yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous. Is this one running on Decima as well, or is it?
Yes.
Did they switch to Unreal? Okay, so Decima, Hideo Kojima knows how to use that engine. It looks gorgeous. The environment looks gorgeous, and I'm excited to download it and give it a try and play it because I did enjoy the gameplay of the first one. But this trailer is all about story, and it's as convoluted as you'd expect. It's 10 minutes of fucking nonsense, with incredibly dramatic music behind it. But you know, it's an event, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Hell yeah. I watched the full 10-minute trailer. I think I messaged you guys for like I watched a 10-minute trailer for a game that I more than likely won't play. But I don't know. It's just like Gage said, it's an event, and I think that's why I watched it. And I think I just wanted to, even though I didn't quite understand everything that was going on or anything that was going on in the trailer, it was just really cool to see the Decima engine and the scale of everything that they're trying to do with this game. And when those characters came up with all the actors that are a part of this or not a part of this, there was a character named, I think, Charlie, and it was just like a dummy, and there was no name attached to it. It's just Charlie, right. And it was like, who's Charlie? So stuff like that makes me want to play it. I was like, I want to learn about who the hell Charlie is. But I don't know. I was just enthralled. I wanted to challenge myself as well. When I saw that it was 10 minutes, like my attention span has been deteriorating for the past 4 years. I'm gonna watch this whole thing, and I did, and I'm proud of myself for doing that, and I enjoyed it. So,
oh yeah,
it was a win-win.
And speaking of characters, Ro, they kind of teased a character that looks suspiciously like Solid Snake, and
yes,
Hideo. Yeah. It came out that I guess Hideo actually had commented in the past about how the actor who plays this character looks like Solid Snake. So that's pretty. That's kind of a cool reference there.
Yeah, that was cool. I saw that at the end there. I was like, oh, they're doing a lot of cool things. There's so much that's going on. Like there's mech battles as well that seem to be happening. It's like I'm just so curious to see how all this is going to play out. I think the first game had actually something similar where there was a giant like battle that happened, but this seems like more like this will happen more often. Like it seems like it's going to be a core part of the game, but who knows? Who knows?
That would be cool as hell. I would be down for that big mech fight. Yeah. I just thought of something though. Kojima is making a espionage game that he announced already. He didn't announce the name of it or anything like that because it's still like very early in development. What if this character is the main character for that game that looks exactly like Solid Snake? Is that possible? Like that is it?
That's entirely possible. Of course it is.
It's in the same universe as Death Stranding because I think that's a PlayStation exclusive as well.
I think you might be cooking here a little bit.
Oh, I'm cooking. Let's go. Shit.
You saying that Kojima is working on an espionage game also reminded me that he's working on a horror game with Xbox. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
he's working on some stuff.
He's working a lot. Like, Jesus. Crazy. All right. That is our news of the week, boys. Let's move into our quick bites. We're going to munch on down on some quick bites. Yum, yum. Our first quick bite is Respawn Entertainment has canceled a multiplayer first-person shooter incubation project that they started working on literally on the back of the team that was working on the Star Wars FPS game at Respawn before that was canceled last year. So this team that's been working on these two projects have not had a good time. I'm imagining working on two canceled projects in such a short time. That definitely sucks. And also an unknown number of individuals also have been laid off as a result, which never a good thing. So more cancellations. Ugh.
No bueno. No bueno.
No bueno indeed. But what is bueno is Mario Day was here and it is gone. There were announcements. Unless I missed something, it seemed like a pretty lackluster Mario Day this year.
Mhm.
So they offered up a look of more Mario offerings for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers, which I guess Donkey Kong and Mario Picross? Is that part of it, Rob? Do you remember that?
I think that's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Very interesting. Very interesting. And then there was a Mario sale that Nintendo announced for select Mario, or maybe all Mario games. Hang on, what did it say?
I doubt that.
Select Mario games, which includes Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Super Mario RPG, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and more. You can see the full list if you go to IGN.com. This is not an advertisement by IGN. They just have that in there. They also announced a Lego Mario Kart set that is coming to stores this May. They had a little trailer with that as well, which I'm sure little kiddos will be excited about that. Some Lego kits looking like some Mario Kart action. And they also announced a Super Nintendo World Sweepstakes, which gives you a 4-night stay for lucky fans. I feel like I'm promoting this at this point. This is like promotional. And this episode of Podcast PXN is brought to you by Nintendo. And then we got more Mario Day events across the globe. JetBlue partnered with Nintendo to create the Cloud Top Cruiser, which is just an aircraft painted in the theme of Mario. But the actual art design looks really cool. And yeah, I believe that's it. That's our Mario Day.
It is, yeah.
Come and gone.
Usually I would say it's this level of fanfare.
Yeah.
Most years. It's not usually that
exciting.
crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have like a movie to go along with it, but it's just this year there wasn't that much to say. Oh, someone's at the door.
I heard Alexa say something, and I'm always afraid she's gonna do something like call. I don't want to say it because I just said her name. I don't want her to actually do it. So
Right.
Yeah, so I get afraid sometimes when I hear her. I told her to cancel. All right. So Sony is working on an AI-powered PlayStation character, or multiple characters, according to our next quick bite here from Tom Warren. An internal Sony video of an AI version of Aloy in Horizon Forbidden West has leaked online. The video is narrated by Sharwin. Oh my gosh. Ragho Bardajal. Fuck. I apologize if I fucked that up. That was... Alright.
Ragho Bardajal.
Yes. Thank you. A director of software engineering at Sony Interactive Entertainment who works on video technology, AI, computer vision, and face technology for Sony's PlayStation Studios Advanced Technology Group. We watched him demonstrate an AI-powered version of Aloy that can hold a conversation with the player through voice prompts during gameplay. Aloy could be seen responding to queries with an AI-powered synthesized voice and facial movements, both in a demo setting and within the full Horizon Forbidden West game. He made it clear that this is just a prototype that has been developed alongside Guerrilla Games to demonstrate the technology internally at Sony. So they're using generative AI, I guess, or sorry, whatever that AI is. The AI that for speaking, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I think it is
it
generative AI. Yeah, this type of AI, I think, is that.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to the voice part of it.
For sure. And yes, they're using OpenAI's Whisper for speech to text. So very controversial there.
Yeah.
I love how they always preface this with, "Don't worry, we're just doing it for like testing."
Just-
It's
Right.
like, yeah,
Testing for
right,
what?
and that's what you plan to spend all this money and test it and just
Right.
leave it in the box, right?
And that's the
Mhm.
same thing we heard from Xbox a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
Yeah. So scary.
Yeah.
The the thing that I didn't think about until someone said it was like, how does Ashley Birch, the voice of Aloy, feel about this? Like, it just feels so icky.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see the video before it disappeared, so I don't know if they used her voice, but I assume that the end goal would be
right
to use her
Yep.
voice to make it sound as much like the character that it's
That's true.
replicating. But yeah, and somehow they made the facial animations in that game worse. I always thought they looked kind of uncanny valley, but now they look awful.
Yeah.
How would you like it, Ro? I've got a deal for you. How would you like it to look
Okay.
just as uncanny, except now you're talking to a robot and not a human?
Oh,
being?
perfect.
I think Ro's tired of us proposing things and putting our fingers like this.
Nothing ever good comes after you and I put our fingers like this.
Yeah. Keurig thinking of a different game, Horizon Forbidden Lust. That's a different game entirely there.
All right. We know what he's doing with the AI alloy.
Oh, God. All right. Our next quick bite. EA has added microtransactions to Skate for the latest alpha test. Nothing gets by without getting microtransactions these days. As reported by Insider Gaming, developer Full Circle added microtransactions to the ongoing closed alpha of EA's free-to-play Skate Revival. You can spend real-world money on virtual currency called Sandvan Bucks, which in turn is used to buy cosmetic items.
I want to be more mad at this, but when I was reading into it, I saw that they said that when the game launches, whatever money you spend in the alpha will get put to your account. That being said, there is something about a closed alpha having microtransactions that just sounds awful. There's just no way to spin that in a way that doesn't sound absolutely like dystopian.
Right. And my other thing is like, you know, obviously this game was going to have microtransactions. I don't think any of us thought it wouldn't. But I would hope that they're still going to have a decent amount of customization options to be able to earn in-game, regardless of this. So
you would hope so.
Yeah. Our next quick bite is good news. Split Fiction has sold over 1 million copies in just 48 hours, setting a new record for the studio. And of course, they announced on Blue Sky I wanted to say tweet, a post saying, "The love you all show for our game is overwhelming. Lovey face. Everyone here at Hazelight are beyond happy, and we can't stop enjoying your amazing reactions." Very cool.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
Just keep making games over there at Hazelight, please. Don't stop.
Absolutely. And they found a niche that works. I mean,
yeah.
Which is funny because like their niche is almost like, what's the most fun thing that we could do? Let's just do that. Which is like exactly the vacuum that needs to be filled in the industry right now. So yeah. Good for them.
And they don't care that they're possibly losing out on half of their sales because they offer the friend pass, which gives you free access for your friends. So
Joseph Fares is giving people very little to criticize nowadays. The industry needs more people like him for sure.
Oh yeah. All right, our next quick. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, like, I wonder, like, how much it impacts it. Like, I wonder if, like, more people would buy it if 2 people did have to buy it. You know what I mean? Like, or do those people who played the last game become new customers for this one, and it just like continues to grow as it continues?
That's a good point.
Or would people be turned off and not buy 2 copies if they had to? Like, it would always just, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing because you need 2 people to play it.
It is a good point, though, because they set a record for this game, 1 million copies in 48 hours. So obviously doing something right.
I think I think obviously this one is the most open in terms of like it's a cross-platform
Yes.
friend pass. The last one had a friend pass limited to platforms, and then the first game, A Way Out, had some sort of friend pass, but I think it was even more limited. So the fact that they've been increasing it each time lends me to believe that they might have some telemetry that suggests what Ro is saying, where it's like, no, more people are giving our game a chance, and
Yeah.
our sales are going up each time because they've expanded it with every release.
Absolutely.
Good job, Joseph. Good job.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. It's almost like when a company that makes a product extends an olive branch to the consumers naturally extend the olive branch back, and both people flourish. That's
Benefit,
crazy.
yeah.
What?
Wow.
How is capitalism told me that doesn't happen?
I just want to say, Joseph, I clapped for you at the 2021 Game Awards when you won Game of the Year. Christian didn't. That's all I'm going to say.
Damn.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. He did.
Throwing him under the bus.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. If he listens back to this, he's going to kill me. All right. Our last... No, sorry. Not the last quick bite. Second to last quick bite. Niantic has officially sold Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom, Monster Hunter Now, and all their development teams to the Saudi-owned maker of Monopoly Go for $3.5 billion. Wow.
Jesus.
Wow. That's a lot of money. So Niantic said that its game team has exciting long-term roadmaps that they will continue to build as part of Scopely, which is the new owner. This partnership ensures that our games have the long-term support needed to be forever games that will endure for future generations. Players can expect that the games, apps, services, and events they know and love will continue to receive Scopely's ongoing investment, driven by the same teams that have always created these experiences. So, there you go.
They got a lot.
Forever games is a funny term. In the era of like plastics and forever chemicals, we're gonna make a forever game. You can't get rid of it no matter what you do.
That's scary, actually. A little scary. All right. Our last quick bite. The enhanced version of Grand Theft Auto 5 is not reviewing well on Steam. A lot of downvotes. In fact, GTA 5 Enhanced is currently the worst user-reviewed GTA on Steam, with its closest competitor for the unwanted crown, GTA 3, the definitive edition. GTA 5 Enhanced is a free upgrade for PC that includes sought-after features previously only available in the PS5 and Series X and S versions of GTA Online, including all the latest vehicles and performance upgrades available at HAL's Special Works, animal encounters, and access to purchase a GTA Plus membership, along with improved graphic options, faster loading times, etc. All players who currently own GTA 5 on PC can upgrade to the new version for free, but you'd think it's a relatively straightforward process, but appears the count migration isn't working as intended for many players. Indeed, account migration problems are at the heart of most of the negative reviews flagged as most helpful. The GTA Online profile associated with this Rockstar Games account is not eligible for migration at this time, reported one disgruntled player. Another player says, if you think I'm throwing away nearly 700 hours of gameplay, my God, on one character so that you can make a few more bucks off me, then you can. Okay. I didn't expect it. The next part I won't say, but you can leave your imagination. I didn't expect that to be on IGN's reporting here. I'm going to have to... Oh, God. Yeah, I'll have to tell you guys this or show you after the podcast. I can't believe they left that.
Please.
Anyways, people are upset about it. So
people are not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big supporter of review bombing, especially when 9 times out of 10 it's for a reason. And I didn't know what the reason was, but that as soon as you said it, like as you were talking about the story, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop because there's got to be a reason for it. And yeah, account migration, a game that's been out since September of 2020 or of 2013, was it?
Yeah.
If you're somebody who's still enjoying this game, which evidently is a lot of people by metrics, and then you can't bring any of that progress over to the new updated version that brings it up just to standard with console, I'd be pretty upset too.
For sure. For sure. Come on, Rockstar. Get your shit together for GTA 6. What we gotta say. All right. Let's move into our fantasy draft check-in. And I am ready to get into this section, guys. Why? Because we have a lot of activity that has happened since last week. The first item here. We had much discussion last week about this. And I did a lot of thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? This game, this franchise always gets at least high 70s, and this development team in particular has, for the last couple of games, gotten in the low 80s. I'm going to fucking throw $3 at it because it's a nearly guaranteed roughly 8 to 13 points, I feel like. So, with all that being said, I acquired Assassin's Creed Shadows for a bid of $3.
You did it.
I did it.
You really did the thing.
I did the
You
thing.
thought I was trying to trick you last week.
I did, but I was thinking about it more, and I did my research, and I'm like, you know what? And this is Ubisoft's, this is one of Ubisoft's biggest, moments of their company, I feel like. If this game does not succeed, Ubisoft's in trouble, I think.
Yeah.
So.
I think you just bought yourself 4 points.
4 points? We'll
74.
see. We'll see, Gage.
Assassin's Creed Unity, 71.
Yes.
71?
That was a long time ago.
That
was way back.
Let's see, the more recent one, Mirage 76, pretty good.
So this development team, they made Valhalla. So Valhalla was their last one, yeah. And then Odyssey was the one before that. So Odyssey and Valhalla is this team in particular. So, but yes, Mirage, 76.
Okay. And I was trying to trick you last week.
You were. I know you were. I knew you were. But the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't think this is actually that crazy.
Bad shots?
I don't know. I know Christian's probably screaming right now, his head off. But we'll see what happens. Also, I acquired 2 counter picks to fulfill my entire counter pick selection. And guess whose list I went to fulfill those counter picks, Gage Dempster? There's always good pickings off of your list. And that is why I have to say you didn't release The Outer Worlds 2, which was the biggest mistake because I bid on the counter pick for The Outer Worlds 2 knowing it's already been delayed.
So guess what? You're going to be up Schitt's Creek when I drop both of these.
No, I get 0 points.
Right.
That's what you want from counter picks.
Okay, fair enough.
Or
fair enough.
I mean, unless you can guess a game that's going to do super poorly.
Right.
Yeah. But the other one,
do that right now before I forget.
The other one I acquired was Ultimate Sheep Raccoon because we played it and it was rough.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah. So, yeah. But that is not the last update I have for you guys because Rose Devil officially tried to acquire game Clair Obscure Expedition 33 with a bid of $6. But they failed because they were outbid. They were outbid by who? Dan. Dan acquired Clair Obscure Expedition 33 with a bid of $10. I heard all the massive praise all around the internet. I heard Christian himself praise it like no other. And I said, I'm putting $10 freaking on this game because I think it might get me good points.
Smart.
Boom.
Smart.
Sorry, Christian.
You're not sorry. You can barely contain your excitement.
Oh, I'm very excited about that. I was very happy to see that I won. Okay. Since last week, do we have any updates for review scores? Split Fiction, right? Did we talk about that last week? I think we did.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Oh, we did.
Maybe.
Oh. Well, if we didn't, Split Fiction got 20 points for me. It is a 90 on OpenCritic. Hell yeah, thank you, Joseph.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I remember.
Yes, okay.
I remember now.
So
20 points.
to refresh everyone's memory, we will go from last to first. Christian is in last. He's only had one game released, though, 16 points. I am in second to last with 29 points. I've had 2 games released. Ro is in second with 38 points. He's had 3 release. And Gage is in first, still holding strong at 42 points, also with 3 games released.
It's where I belong, on the stage of my heels.
We'll see what happens. All right. That is our fantasy draft check-in. Stay tuned for Now Assassin's Creed Shadows that comes out next week. Boom. All right. Let us go into what you got for me. Dan, what you got for me? Well, Dan, I'm so glad you asked. I played a World of It Takes Two with Gage. We played through a section. I realized I was only on the second area, whatever you want to call it, of the game. And I was like, well, fuck, I'm never going to beat this. And then Gage is like, let's do it. Let's play it. And I'm like, hell yeah. So we got through one of the areas. Hopefully we can get through some more.
We'll chip away at it. We'll try and get play a little bit each weekend.
Yes.
If you're down with that.
Absolutely, I'm down with it. I'm ready to beat it and then go to Split Fiction, you know?
Hell yeah.
We also played this weekend another game called Heroes of Hammerwatch 2, which I know Gage will be talking about. I will give my quick thoughts. Heroes of Hammerwatch is very fun. It is also very frustrating. It is also very difficult. But I had fun with it. And I'm down to play more with the lads. It's kind of a roguelite that gets increasingly harder as you go, just like every other roguelike. But I really do like how they kind of cater certain things to you have different equipment to pick up. You have different I forget what they call them, the relics on the map that you get
skills,
certain skills. Yes,
using your skills, right?
Yeah, so it's very cool how they kind of mix and mash different things to try to keep it interesting and keep your playthrough unique to try to continue to build your character. So had fun with that. That's all I got. Ro, what you got?
What do I got? I played something.
Oh, wow!
Getting ready for him to say the line.
It was crazy. I played Everhood 2, which is a game that I drafted on my fantasy draft thing. I've spoken about the first one being a game from 2022 that was one of my game of the years of that time. I think it was 2022. But the sequel came out a couple weeks ago. I got it on the Switch. And I'm enjoying it a lot so far. Very much like I did the first game. It's a RPG with a battle mechanic that it's like a rhythm game. The battles are like rhythm games, but when the beats are coming towards you, you're avoiding them. I think I talked about this before. But in this game, you can certain beats you could absorb and like throw back at the enemy. So you're dodging the beats, absorbing the power, and then sending it back. I guess since I actually recorded some, so I could send them in the group chat after, so you guys can get a better idea, because it's hard to explain. But outside of that, the world is like your typical retro JRPG, sort of top down. Your character, like how Pokemon looks back in the day. Like that's the aspect ratio or perspective of it, and it's just all about exploring, doing these little puzzles, and they throw you into this world, and there's like very little that they tell you about it, and you're just left to figure out where to go next. And the characters are really funny, interesting dialogue, and it's very mysterious and weird. Like at the beginning of the game, as soon as you start, they give you like a questionnaire, and then at first it's like very normal. It's like, oh, do you like challenges? Do you like stories? And it's like, hey, can I ask you something personal? And then it starts going into like weirder questions, like, how old are you? Are you depressed? And it's like, what's going on here? And then and as you keep answering these questions, and it gets deeper and deeper, it just ends with, do you play Fortnite? I'm like, no, I don't. And then then the game starts. So it's like, it gets weird, but it's funny. It like keeps it light at the same time. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I love the art style. It's very psychedelic and bright. It's cool. I like it a lot.
Oh yeah. Are you playing that on Switch, I'm assuming?
Yes. Yeah, playing on the Switch. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool indeed. Gage, what you got for me?
Well, Daniel, I've got a little game called Heroes of Hammerwatch for you. Heroes of Hammerwatch 2, I should say. Yeah, Christian and I have fallen head over heels for this game. I have...
And Garrett.
And Garrett, I should mention, yes. Friend of the show, Garrett. Let me see, what are we at for playtime? Let me mention this. We've got 3.2 hours in the free-to-play demo.
Jesus.
And then at that point, Christian and I were like, should we just pull the trigger on the full game? And then we did it. So I've got a cumulative 15 hours in Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. I am really, really enthralled with this game. As of right now, it is my game of the year for 2025. We're only in March, but this game is a very, very good roguelite. And I would say that it's roguelite and not roguelike because it focuses heavily on the meta progression. It doesn't feel as punishing as other games. Like I remember the first like 3 or 4 hours of Hades just being absolutely brutal, whereas in this one it kind of feels like as long as you get a decent run, you're making pretty good progression. And another big thing I really like with this game is that it all focuses around this town mechanic where you can create one character of like, I think there's like 7 classes in the game total. And you're doing runs with that character, and like Dan said, you're leveling up, you're getting different skills, and you're getting different equipment, but all of the resources that you earn on a run is designed to be used at this town. And you're building up your town, and you're building different shops and things that then allow you to spend even more resources to get stronger. But what's cool is that the town is kind of linked to your account, so you can create different classes and different builds and different heroes, and you all share the same town. So you're constantly building towards this meta progression of leveling up this little city that you're, I guess, defending. I don't really know the lore of that much. It's not very heavy on lore, but yeah, it's comfy, it's nostalgic, it is gameplay design over anything else, and I have nothing but fun times when I'm playing it, even when I'm getting my ass kicked. So Heroes of Hammerwatch 2, big recommend.
Hell yeah. I think I would have had more fun also if my game didn't crash twice back to back.
I forgot about that because you were saying when you said it was frustrating. I was like, "What is he talking about?" Like, I don't find it frustrating, but yeah, you got kind of hit with the unlucky hammer of having crashes. I've not had any. I should mention with my 15 hours, I've not had any crashes, any issues. But you having 2 in one night that would make me frustrated too. So that sucks.
For sure. All right, gents. That does it. It's a tight hour. Almost a tight hour, actually. Pretty good.
Look at that.
Let's go.
We only ever get a tight hour when we don't say we need to get a tight hour.
That's true. That's true. And thank you to everyone that is joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Keurig. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Gage. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
See you.